Welcome to April at Gasper Cottage, which in the garden is a season where the growth really starts and there is a growing intensity. But in intensity, it's been busy in the studio because I am preparing for an exhibition. Up in London at the Oxo Gallery, I've got a 2-week exhibition starting on the 22nd of May, ending on the 2nd of June. All very exciting. And it would be great to see as many of you there as possible. In the orchard, as you can see, the blossom has been blossoming. Also this year we've introduced some camassia into the long grass, which has been a great success, and they're really loving the quite damp conditions out there. So that's a very, very good combination. And we're just thinking next year what else we need to add. Probably some very simple kind of native narcissi, get that whole yellow-blue thing going, because you know the old combinations are often the very best. And this area, I got given a stump for my birthday last year. A lot of people were a bit puzzled, but I was very excited. So when you arrive as a garden visitor, where you park and then come in, this is now just by the entrance where you come in. And it's really made something of this area, which I'm delighted with. Obviously, everything needs to grow, but it's fun. And the idea is a kind of woodland floor. Speaking of woodland floors, under the birch trees, this area has really kind of got that level of complexity and intensity. And in April it's the windflowers and then the first of the cowslips that are the glory. Around in the front garden there's various different combinations of foliage, but a lot of the areas are backed up by that forget-me-not blue, some of which is forget-me-nots, but a lot of which is brunnera, a plant that we talk about quite a bit in this month's blog. So if you haven't read the blog, go over and look at the Gasper Cottage website, gaspercottage.com, and check out the latest blog, which talks all about the brunnera and also the hostas through the garden, of which we have quite a lot. And we enjoy them now, although obviously they will be slug food later in the year. But never mind, it'll be all right in the night. But there is that sensation of the garden filling up and all the mounds of fresh foliage, which in a lot of the garden we've got that going really well. There are quite a lot of gaps still, areas where either we've had work going on that bank, or you know, things have failed. It's been a very, very wet winter, and there's quite big areas where various things have died. So we're doing lots of replacement planting, and there's quite a lot of new ideas and things to be added. But this big curved border in the front garden is amazing. And that zing of the euphorbia really lifts it at this season. It's a very nice little mounding form of euphorbia. And the foliage just coming through on the various cotinus bushes. Interestingly, the one that's pollarded is the slowest to come through. The red bed, at the moment, is a bit of a fail. There are some nice bits. This is a nice bit. But there's an awful lot of the red bed that isn't very exciting at the moment. So I have been shopping and more plants will get planted. We're going to slightly reinvent it, make it a bit more of a mix of shrubs and perennials, and also those wonderful late season annuals. But look at all this bare ground. In April, it's pretty much unforgivable really to have bare ground at this time of year, but all things to work for. And in the studio garden, things are looking great. So when I'm beavering away in my studio, and I've been framing pictures and preparing catalogues and doing all sorts for the exhibition, this is the joys that I can look out onto, which is just heavenly. These tulips are just glorious. The closer you get to them, the more you see. They almost have a kind of an iridescence on the outside of the petals. They're kind of shiny. They've got that whole, I don't know, sort of pigeon's feather, raven's feather thing where as you move the colours change. And the foliage through this corner, from that sort of great big euphorbia down to the various sort of brunnera and the hostas coming through. The hostas here, this is their moment. And what could be better than fresh hostas in the springtime?